Hey guys, JB from Storkies here. I'm bringing you some more triples from Clash of Clans. Today's video I'm going to have what looks like a pretty easy army to use, and really it's not too bad. The goal with this army, obviously Root Rider and Valkyries are super strong still, so the goal really is to make sure that you create pathing, so starting out with a funnel and then using that overgrowth spell to freeze some defenses, some major defenses and DPS that's going to affect your Root Riders and Valkyries, but also help set up that pathing with the Central Town Hall. Obviously that one gets attacked a little bit differently than your Town Halls that are more offset. So let's go ahead and check it out. We'll start by checking out his hero equipment. Okay, pretty standard stuff. A lot of us run similar equipment right now. While we're upgrading some of the other pieces. A lot of us are getting close to max or have our equipment maxed out that we typically use, which would be like your gauntlet and your frozen arrow, and then some of the more common equipment as well. So the big thing here is that he is setting up that funnel. So he has a good funnel set up, and he's used kind of a variety of armies with Root Riders and Valkyries. As the game has developed with TH16 this year, but this is kind of his go-to right now. He uses it in Legends and in War. So notice how patient he was on that funnel to really make sure that everything goes towards the core here, and then he does end up using the overgrowth spell, which is probably the way you've seen it done in the past for your Central Town Halls. But think about how much DPS right now he is avoiding for his Root Riders. So his Root Riders can kind of get through some of the other major defenses. But he has the Town Hall, the Mono, Scatter Shot in there, a Poison Tower. All those pieces are frozen up. And if I remember right, this one's a little bit closer than other attacks, just because the Central Town Halls are a little bit trickier, just because your troops end up splitting around when you use the overgrowth there in the middle. The overgrowth is definitely fun to use. I think it probably deserves some sort of nerf, whether that is the amount of defenses it can cover or overgrow, or just the duration itself. But even at level 1, the overgrowth spell is pretty useful, at least for setting up pathing, if not using it in a similar way to the way Jordan started using it. Then he has a rage spell, but he also has the Queen ability and the Royal Champion ability left over here by the time everything becomes unfrozen and it's no longer invisible. Obviously wants to get through that mono quickly, and with the Royal Champion being there with her ability, it definitely helped finish off this base. All right, let's go ahead and check out his second replay. So on his second one, this one's more of a diamond-shaped base. So he'll hit this one just a little bit differently. So if we check this one out, we'll check out his equipment again just in case you'd missed it on the first one. And all these bases, most people are getting pretty caught up. We do see some lightweight Town Hall 16s in our wars, just because we have a mix of Town Hall levels. On this one here, he even set up a funnel for his siege barracks, just to make sure the P.E.K.K.A. and everything went where he wanted it to go. So he wanted it to go towards the eagle to kind of help create the pathing that way. And then a nice good funnel for his heroes that they'll end up joining the main army here. And then you'll see how he uses the overgrowth to help create pathing. So this one, he doesn't necessarily freeze up as much DPS, but he definitely helps create some of the pathing. So when you're planning for this kind of attack, you really want to, I like using it more on this type of base than I do a central base. Just central bases aren't my thing necessarily. Some of our guys are much better at it. But you really just have to envision the pathing. So when you use the overgrowth spell, where the troop's going to go, just knowing that the clan castle will still pull. So if that happens, your heroes or troops that will target other things than defenses will definitely get pulled away from the pathing. So that's just something to keep in mind if you're attacking into the clan castle and don't have a way to pull it. And he has a ton of spells left over right now. So you have 2 freeze, an overgrowth, still rage, poison. He's got a little bit of everything. Which with this attack, you really want to try and save some of that back just so that you have it to finish off whatever you used overgrowth on. Sometimes you end up having to burn it, especially if you're hitting in a Legends League and you have multiple single Infernos. Sometimes you have to use those. But he even has enough time, so Root Riders and Valkyries tearing through the base with the heroes and the hero equipment. He has enough time even that the overgrowth wasn't done, but he was still able to have enough time to finish off this base. All right, let's go ahead and check out his third and final replay. So this is a box style base. So on this one, it's gonna look just slightly different. So we've had a central town hall, we've had a diamond shape, and now we have a box base. What really goes to show you how strong this army is. Like I said, it's fairly easy to use, but it does require the skill and planning to ensure that you have the pathing set up and that you know how to manage your spells, really. So when you use any kind of spam type army, I like to call it strategic spam, you have to make sure that your spell use is adequate. So again, setting up that good funnel. He's really patient about the funnel. He has his king to help kind of flank that bottom side at the 9 o'clock area. Going straight at the town hall. I've said this before, but it's crazy that you can use this kind of army, go straight into the town hall. But with the hero equipment, especially if you're using maxed out warden equipment, you can definitely get through that just fine. Using the healing book will help, but then on this one he's just using that overgrowth spell to minimize the damage that his king's taking and minimize the damage that his Root Riders and Valkyries are taking as they get through the base. And so using the overgrowth spell again, kind of holding back on the free spells a little bit to see what kind of trouble he'll get into, but really managing the hit points and the health of his troops here at the end. Has that backhand mono, which can mess things up for this kind of attack if you're not using the overgrowth spell, because the overgrowth spell is really minimizing the damage that they took through the core. And then this one gets a little sketchy at the end. So he does have some spells that he can swag, and he showboats here a little bit. So when I first watched the replay, I wasn't able to watch this one live. I got a little nervous about time here, but I think Jornstar knew that he had plenty of time to burn. He ends up with like 40 seconds, and here you'll see him kind of swag his overgrowth spell and make his troops sit back a little bit. All right, and that is all she wrote for this one. So obviously time is not a factor for this attack. With the Root Riders tearing through so quickly and the hero equipment being so strong right now, it is definitely a pretty viable attack right now, even after the Root Riders got plenty of nerfs. I mean, they've had 2 nerfs already, so we'll kind of see how things shake out. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope this helps. Go ahead and give a like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next video.